What's up, guys? This is me, Goldman Roshan. Today, I'm going to explain how to do analysis on charts for buy and sell. This is the most important concept for each trader to make money from the market, as it's the standard way to measure the zones and proper analysis of the charts. So, it is one of the easiest method in the world to analyze the chart and to get the insights from the market. So it's basically going to the top-down analysis. Now I'm going to move the daily time frame. So by the way, this is the gold and simulations where I'm going to explain and showing the actual things in a reality. All right. So if you look at the daily time frame, what you can see is the daily time frame is bearish right at this moment. By respecting the previous high means there is higher probability that it will continue to pushing down. So the initial bias of hours in the chart is bearish from the daily perspective. So the bias is bearish. So let's drop down the lower time frame, that is 4 hours. So if you look at it on a 4 hour, what you can see is there is a clean traffic to the left till this point, which is all about how many pips, like 31, 39. So this is the support that you can found at this point, and if you measure this range, which is all about like 679 pips, all right. So this is the support, and the most recent support that you can get is at this point, but this 4 hour candle is running candle. So you have the resistance at this point. Anything break below this range, you'll get a clean traffic to the left, which is all about like a 634 pips range. All right. So from the 1 hour perspective, what you can see is, looking at on a 1 hour perspective, you can see the most recent resistance would be at this point. Likewise, you get the most recent support at this point, which is at 32.10. All right. So this is the most recent support. All right. So from the 1 hour perspective as well, just like being a choppy market and there is a clean traffic to the left, anything broken close below this range, which is 3208, you can get a clean traffic to the left, which is 668 pips. All right. So this is the way. So you are not worried to execute the trade at this point. The only thing that you are waiting is to candle break and close below this support so that you can get the next candle like this. Let me draw like this in the downtrend. All right. So this is the things that you need to consider while navigating the charts. So let's move towards the 30-minute time frame. Looking at a 30-minute time frame, I need to adjust something at this point. So this is the support and this is the resistance. At the same time, if you can see, what you can see is the most resistance at this point, where you can find a lot of rejections. So anything broken close above this range, like this resistance, you can expect a clean traffic to the left, and the weak becomes weak fill, and you can expect the upward move, which is all about like 216 pips. But I prefer to go for down because our initial bias is bearish from the daily perspective. So at this point, nothing to do. The only thing that we need to do is to wait for a candle to break and close below this support so that we can go for a sell. Other than that, the only thing that we can do at this point is to patiently wait for the market. All right. So nothing to do at this point. Let me make it a little bit faster so that we can cover all thing. Okay. The candle is moving. Yeah, no problem. Moving down. We need to wait for candle to break and close below this support so that we can go for a sale. All right. So let me skip this candle. Yeah. Okay. If you look at here, the way this candle closed, listen, let me tell you something very interesting. Most of the trader, what they do is, whenever they look the candle like this, so let me tell you something interesting at this point. So this candle is break and close below this support, and there is a clean traffic to the left as well. You can easily expect the downward movement from at this point to like how many pips? 110 pips. But at the same time, if you measure this week has become the 40 pips range. All right, man, there's a way big range, and you are expecting that whenever the price broke below this week, we can expect clean weak fill to the left, which is 76 pips. So it's the low probability, as if you look at here, it already ran up to how many pips? 18, and if it breaks 41, 42 pips, so to continue this candle to the drop down is going to be very, very low at this point. So my favorite way is to wait for a candle to close like a small body candle, or like this type of body at this point, so that I can execute the next candle. All right, so that was my favorite setups for down. So I'm waiting for a candle because I'm not going to put my stop loss below 42 pips at this point, like 56 pips. That's the irrelevant for me. So still need to wait for a candle to close. It's been the 8 minutes gone. 9, 10, okay, no problem. So let me make it a little bit faster. Okay, it moved up, the whole breakout becomes fake out if these current candle close above these resistance. Other than that, we need to wait for a candle to break below this support for sale. Yeah, the 30-minute candle is about to close. Let me make it a little bit slow because this might be our execution candle for the, yeah, next candle. All right, so I need to see whether this candle able to break and close below the support or not. So candle closure is a crucial things in the trading. All right, so if you look at it here, this is something that I'm desperately waiting. So if the current candle wake up, created a wick, grab some sorts of liquidity and break the low of the previous candle, definitely I go for a sale, which is all about like 94 pips, because you know what, this is something called the impulse entry in the trend. This is the concept that I explained in the earlier video as well. So this candle having the high amount of rejections from the top, and small body having a short wick to the down. So if these current candle wake up, created a wick and then break the low, then I will go for a sell definitely, because it's the impulse entry in the trend and we have a clean range. So need to wait for a candle to create a wick at first. No worry to execute the trade at this point. Need to wake up, create a wick, and then we can go for a sale. Yeah, definitely need to wait for a candle to create a wick at first. If it's not create the wick, then it would not be the execution candle for us. Need to create a wick at any cost. Yeah, need to create a wick. Baby, need to create a wick. Yeah, it is trying to create the wick at this point. Now, it's been the first 6 minutes. Need to create the wick at first. Now it's time to execute the trade. So I am definitely go for like a percentage of risk. Like it's a perfect A plus setups for me. So let's go to the 2% risk at this point. 2% risk. I would like to go for sale definitely. All right. Bring my stop loss above the zone. TP would be TP would be like something here. Yeah, definitely. So let's go. So let's see whether we can make money or not at this point. So I'm going to show you my trade panel at this point. We're up in like 135, 160. Wow. And in pips, we're in 34, 39 pips. Yeah, that's definitely the great trade that we are taking right now. It's been 21, 22, yeah. Sitting down, it's been just like a first 15-minute candle moving down, no problem. So if you look at here, we have already been moved like a 42 pips. And you are expecting how many pips? Let me teach you how to manage risk, all right? It's 87 pips range and you have already got like 42. If you got 45, then we need to close 45. We need to close 80% of our position because we can expect at least 50 to 60%, all right? I'm going to close 80% of my positions and 12 my stop loss at break even. Now this trade becomes the risk-free trade and let the rest run for my target. So this is the simplest way to print money by managing the proper risk. So this is about to close. Yeah, my TP got hit and we got like an awesome profit at this point. So this is all about waiting for the candle. $252. Yeah, this is, we are taking into the 1% risk and that's the great amount of profit that we made, all right? So this is kind of continue to pushing down, but we manage risk. This is something called the analysis. So if you look at it here, the overall trend was down, the session trend was down. We took an impulse entry in the trend by putting stop loss above the current candle, waiting for a candle to create a wick at first. So this is something called the analysis, and in this way you can analyze the market. So if the candle continue to draw down, so if you miss these move, then what you can expect is you can wait for a candle to create a support, then need to move up, all right, like this, and need to create a resistance at this point, like this, need to create a resistance at this point so that you can go for a sell at this point. Let me make it red it, yeah, and then you can expect the next candle to continue to push down like this. So if you miss this move, type of move, you need to wait for this type of setups for the sale. So this is the simplest way to analyze the market for buys and sales. So in the next video, I can explain in detail as well. So stay with me. I would like to request all you to like, comment, and subscribe my YouTube channel if you find this video very valuable. And we'll see you on next video. Do not forget to subscribe and share your friends. Thank you.